Hey y'all, my name's Ashley and thank you for coming back to Sometimes I Love You More. Today I wanted to share some tips with first-time homeowners about hurricane season, especially if you live on the East Coast, but it can relate to any storms you may face throughout the country. So I have 5 tips for you today, or 5 areas to focus on during 2 main times that you should be concerned with. So there are 2 main times that you should focus on, and that's before the storm and after the storm. So the things before the storm, you can do these one time, have them every year, never have to worry about them again. Things for after the storm are things you may need to look at again yearly during the hurricane season, but they're going to help you when you're flooded in, lose power, can't get out to your local stores to buy supplies. So area number 1 is home preparation. So the first thing you should worry about are your windows. Those are costly to replace, so you may want to go ahead and buy the recommended thickness of plywood, which is 5/8 inch thick, and go ahead and get those cut out for the shape of your windows, size of your windows, label them, store them in your garage, and then you'll have them every year when you need them. Another thing to consider are your doors and flooding. So you want to go ahead and check your doors, make sure your weather stripping is tight and you're not seeing any sunlight coming through or any water already for normal rain. So go ahead and repair that. And then also for your doors, you could invest in some sandbags, have those on standby for hurricane season so you're not in line with everyone else trying to fight and get those. And if you live in flood-prone areas or within the flood zone, you may want to invest money into the flood-proof door barriers. Those can keep out up to 2 feet of water from your home, and it's amazing to look at the reviews on those things, how they just keep your home sealed tight while there's like flood water right outside your door. But the downside to that are they cost upwards of $400. Another area of your home is your garage door. Those are pretty weak to those sustained winds of a hurricane, so you may want to brace them up. You can use 2x4s, or you could buy a kit from home improvement stores to go ahead and lock into your door. They really frame them up so that they're not blown in, or if they're hit by something, they're knocked in. Another thing that we didn't consider, but luckily one of our neighbors told us to do, was to tie down our well covering. We have one of those fake rocks over our well covering, and they said that they easily blow away. We hadn't even considered it, so very happy that they mentioned that to us and we strapped ours down. Another area to consider is filling up your tubs whenever the storm is approaching. That way you have water on standby to flush your toilets. If you want to bathe with it, rinse off a little bit, wash your hands, or clean up any type of spills. The second area you want to consider reviewing is your insurance. Homeowners insurance doesn't cover flood damage, so you may want to go ahead and invest in flood insurance. I know for us, we live a 4th mile from the Cape Fear River. We don't have flood insurance, so the whole time I was gone during the hurricane, I was just worried that my house was flooded and we were going to have to pay out of pocket for those type of repairs. So for the extra $300 a year, it's definitely worth the peace of mind to go ahead and get coverage. Along with insurance, you may want to go ahead and take pictures of your home inside, outside, and all the rooms within, just to have proof of your insurance, the type of property you had, and so they can replace that for you or pay you for those damages. Along with that, you want to go ahead and take pictures and document your electronics you have. That way you have serial numbers, makes, and models in case you leave, you evacuate, and then your home is looted or broken into, and you can give that information to law enforcement so they can enter it in as stolen property and possibly get recovered for you, as well as claim that on your insurance. So the next 3 topics are for after the storm. The first one is going to be power. So first of all, you may want to go ahead and invest in a generator. We did not have a generator and really regretted it, especially considering they were talks that we weren't going to have power for potentially a month until the water receded in our area. However, it only lasted a week. That was a very hot and difficult week. I know we are still blessed, more blessed than other people in our area, but if we could have had a generator, we definitely would have. Along with the generator, you're going to need a lot of gas to run it for that length of time, so go ahead and stock up on gas. You may want to do that seasonally because gas does go bad after 30 days unless you put an additive in it. So that's something you can do each hurricane season, stock up on a few cans and have it on standby for you. And if you don't get a generator, you may want to consider getting a hand crank radio, battery powered TV, fan, flashlights with batteries, candles. That's kind of old fashioned, but whatever works. And along with that, for cooking, you may want to stock up on grill necessities such as charcoal, gas, whatever is going to help you cook outside. And you can also invest in one of the butane burners. Those are rather cheap. You can get one for like $25. Coleman makes one. Be really convenient for cooking a warm meal instead of eating out of cans like me and my husband did the whole time. So speaking of cooking, the 4th area is going to be food. You're going to want to have at least 2 weeks supply of canned foods, non-perishables. Along with that, you're going to want to have a can opener if they aren't the pop-top cans. You'll want to have your dog food, plenty of that. Plenty of water. The Red Cross recommends that you have 1 gallon per day per person, along with your pets. And also, we found that we needed more water to use to brush our teeth when we ran it over our toothbrush, and when we felt like we really needed to wash our hands if we weren't using like Germ-X or something like that. Additionally, for food storage, you should go ahead and invest in a good cooler such as a Yeti or Arctic or Ozark. All those new coolers that have the same Yeti, patent formula, I guess you could say. They're well worth the money if you're going to be stuck without power for a week, and you can put cold food in there, have a cold drink. That's what I was craving the whole week that I didn't have power. So we would definitely be investing in a cooler for those type of emergencies. But you can use them year round, especially if you go to the beach or go on a hunting trip or whatever you're doing. They're not going to be a waste of money. You're going to get your use out of them. Okay, so the last topic I'm going to talk about is personal stuff, like personal entertainment, hygiene, those type of items. So we bought some packs of baby wipes. That way we could have, a hot spot bath, as my husband called it. My family calls it a whore bath, but it is what it is. Also, entertainment stuff. You're going to want to have books, games, puzzles, whatever to just get you by, because there ain't much you can do when you don't have power. Another item you may want to have is bug spray. If you're going to be out a lot, there's going to be a lot of mosquitoes out with all this water standing. You're going to want sunscreen, Germ-X or hand sanitizer for quick little washing your hands if you're not like too dirty. Definitely make sure you have toilet paper on standby. This is not a time to run out of toilet paper. And lastly in this topic, I'm going to mention a first aid kit and medicine. Luckily, we didn't have any medicines that we take regularly, just vitamins and herbs, so I had plenty of that stocked up. But that is not a good time to run out of like heart medicine or anything, metformin if you're diabetic. Like, go ahead and have some on the back burner just in case. So as I mentioned, you may not need to do these every year or worry about this every year, but if you can go ahead and have some of this stuff on standby, You won't have to be in a mad rush to go to the grocery store or feel super underprepared like we did this year. Just praying that our home stood up to this storm. Thank God that it went from a Category 4 down to a Category 1 when it hit landfall, because I can't imagine the damage that it would have done. But definitely we will never be underprepared again. So go ahead and get these items together like I am. Put them in a plastic storage bin. Just label it survival kit and throw it in your garage, and you won't have to worry about it again. I'm going to link down below the link to American Red Cross. They have a lot more items you can look into, where I'm not a specialist, just giving you my opinion on the matter. But go ahead and look into their website as well. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like it down below and subscribe for more videos like this on the first time homeowner topic. And I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.